Hey nurses, my name is Christina Yvette and I am the founder of Nurses Making Passive Income. I want to introduce you to Nurses Making Passive Income and give you a little backstory of why I created this platform. So, I have been a nurse for 9 years. I started way in 2013 and now we are at 2022 and I honestly can't believe it. Some people look at me and they're like, you look too young to be my nurse. So I am just very happy and privileged to have had a career in the nursing field for 9 years. I haven't practiced in the bedside since 2020 at the start of the pandemic, but that is totally okay. I started my nursing career in 2013 and quickly I realized the effects of burnout and I realized the effects of what being at the bedside long term can really do to you. So I knew early on going in that I had to do something to get out of nursing quicker than some of my counterparts. A lot of my co-workers were, in their 50s, in their 60s, and you can only imagine me being this young 21-year-old nurse. Seeing this, I'm like, well, I don't want that to be me in 20 or 30 years, right? So let me tell you how I started my career. I started my career in a small hospital outside of South Florida. Surprisingly enough, in this big city of Miami, I couldn't find a job. So I had to travel an hour and a half away to Naples, Florida, in order to find my first position. And it was a small hospital there that was very short-staffed. So once I got the position right away, I automatically knew what I was getting myself into because they hired me 3 weeks before orientation. So I had to start on the floor right away without even having any type of foundational information about the hospital. So you can pretty much interpret that I, hit the ground running, as they say. So at the start of my career, I was precepted by this phenomenal nurse, Filipino. Her name is Kathy, and she gave me all those foundational skills that I still use till this day. And I'm very grateful for that. I didn't have the opportunity to, be in a nurse residency program, but still, I was very happy because she taught me everything that I would learn in a residency program. So I precepted with her for about 60 days. And as soon as, the directors and the nurse managers forced me out of, being a preceptee, I hit the ground running. So my first shift, I took 8 patients. And you can only imagine your first shift as a new grad and you're on your own and they throw 8 patients at you. So what are you going to say? Are you going to say no? Absolutely not. So for the hospital supervisors and stuff, I didn't say no. I said yes. And that was the most unsafe thing ever. Having that type of introduction into your career makes your mind wander. So I knew that this career could be an unsafe practice for me because of the type of environment that I was precepted under and the type of stress that they initially put on me as a new grad. Fast forward a year after being a new grad, I was able to save $25,000. And at that time as a new grad, I was only making $21 an hour. But I kept expenses low. I rented a room and I kept my same car from college. So I was able to save money because In that particular hospital, they were short staffed, so I had to do overtime. And I did the overtime. So I worked 5, even sometimes 6 days, $21 an hour. My first year of nursing, I was able to save $25,000. With that $25,000, I bought my first property. I used it as a down payment. I bought this house for $89,000. It was a small 2-bedroom house, and I renovated it. I used almost every single paycheck. I dumped it into renovating this house. And that house, I sold it 2 years after my initial purchase for $235,000. So imagine that type of investment being your first investment. That was a 6-figure investment. So I bought it for 89, I sold it for 235,000, and guess what I did with the 235,000? Exactly. I reinvested it. So after that, I was able to buy 2 homes. And with those 2 houses, I flipped them simultaneously. And those 2 houses, one of them was another 6-figure investment. So one of the homes I bought for $142,000, and I was able to sell it for $345,000. The other house, it was a small town house in West Palm Beach. That house, I bought it for $50,000, and I was able to sell it for $100,000. So with these investments that I had, I was put in a position where my money was making money for me, because I had tenants in place after I had renovated the homes, held the homes for more than 12 months, and then sold the homes. So that was my first taste of investing. And I then became addicted to it. And I knew and realized that investing was my key out of the bedside. Investing was my key to freedom. Investing was the way I was gonna buy back my time. Because as an RN, you devote 12 hours a shift, 7A to 7P, 7P to 7A. Throughout the years, I've done both shifts, day shift, night shift, mid shift, double shift. I've done it all. And one thing about it is that you spend more time in the hospital than you do at home with your children and your spouse. And I was tired of trading my time for money. So I needed to buy my time back from my employer. And that's why I got into investing. That's why I got into passive income streams. That's why I got into multiple streams of income. Because I wanted the liberty to wake up whenever I want, not by an alarm clock at 5:45 and I have to be out the house by 6:30 and clocked in by 7. Because I wanted to be able to wake up whenever I want, take my children to school, pick them up from school, and do all of these things that, a normal person can do. A family life, a life that I wanted to live, not a life that I was required to live because the career that I chose made me work 7A to 7P. That's why I created this platform, Nurses Making Passive Income. I want you guys to be educated. I want you to know that the grass is greener on the other side, that you have to invest your money if you don't want to work every single day for the rest of your life. You cannot depend on 401k. You cannot depend on a pension. You cannot depend on Social Security. Those things are not going to be around in 30 years when you're ready to retire. So you have to put your money in the right place. You have to put your money in investment vehicles that is going to appreciate or make you money over time, even on a daily basis. So that's why this platform is the platform for you, because you're going to learn all of those things here. You're going to learn how to invest in stocks the right way. You're going to learn how to get a 16% ROI in a year's time. You're going to learn how to invest in crypto, what crypto is, how to hold crypto. You're going to learn how to invest in real estate, how to be a landlord, or how to invest passively in REITs. You're going to learn about the foreign exchange market and how it's the largest financial market in the world, and how all the big banks like Wells Fargo and Chase are big players in this market, and they don't want you to know anything about it. And how you can make double-digit returns in 1 month versus 1 year. So I'm here to teach you all of those things here in this platform, Nurses Making Passive Income. I'm looking forward to talking with you in the comments below.